Greetings, fine people. My name is Leonard, and I am a junk crafter. Recently, I was digging around in the junk bin at the forge and found a curious object. It appears to have once been a sledgehammer, but someone tried to convert it into something else and gave up. When I saw it, I knew I could find a use for it. I've been wanting a heavier ball peen for a while. Why not make a ball sledge? Some of you might be asking what a ball peen hammer is, and what it is used for. Some of you might even be asking what a hammer is. If that is the case, I think you might have wandered here on accident. But I'll be happy to tell you anyway. Hammers are tools made from a top piece called the head and a handle which acts as a lever to impart greater force at the site of impact. They can be made from almost any material for a wide range of specialized activities. The first hammers were humanity's earliest tool, predating modern humans by 3 million years. They consisted of a palm-sized stone that could fit comfortably into the hand and were used to break objects such as rocks or bones. They were critical in the creation of sharpened stone tools by allowing early humans to chip away hard materials to form the first knives. By about 30,000 BC, handles were added, which greatly increased their utility and safety. Over the millennia, different styles were created for almost any task imaginable, such as driving nails, making jewelry, setting bricks, caving in helmets, shaping metal, or presiding over a courtroom. If you need to hit something, there is probably a hammer for it. This is a ball peen hammer, so named due to the ball shape on the head. Typically, the other side is a flat face, which is used for general tasks. The ball peen is used to stretch metal away from the point of impact in all directions, which allows you to produce curved shapes out of flat sheets. This thing is what I'm going to turn into a ball peen hammer. I'll clean up the flat side, and the striking end will be rounded off to make the peen. First, let me get rid of this mess at the end of the hammer. I'm removing it with a cutting disc on my angle grinder, a tool that is simultaneously your best friend and worst enemy. More on that later. There's yet another use for the hammer. We'll start by roughing in the shape we want. I'll be going around the neck of the peen with my grinding wheel. When using an angle grinder, it's important to be aware of where your debris is going. Grinders throw out a fountain of sparks when you work steel, so make sure that there isn't anything that could be ruined in their path. The sparks are hot enough to start fires and embed little things of steel in anything, including glass and enamel. Also, make sure you're wearing clothes you don't care about, as the sparks will burn tiny holes in fabric. Some further refinements to the shape of the neck, and now we start to form the dome shape of the head. There's not much to say here about this part of the process. Basically, there is a lot of grinding. So why don't I tell a little story while we're waiting for it to be done? When I was just a young boy in elementary school, there was a larger boy who bullied me relentlessly. I was too afraid to confront him, and the strict code of the schoolyard prevented me from ratting him out to the teachers. So instead, I endured the abuse and engaged in violent fantasies against my tormentor. Years later, I was working in one of the lower-class neighborhoods in my hometown and ran into him again. He didn't look great, and his home was filthy and run down. When he talked to me, it seemed like he remembered us being great friends, and mused about how he used to poke fun at me in jest. At that moment, I realized this sad little man wasn't a person that I should be afraid of, but instead, someone who deserved my pity. Either way, he was still an ass. Radio, back to the hammer. For the back face of the hammer, I kind of like this twisted shape. I'll keep most of it the way it is and make it into a straight peen. Straight peens allow you to move metal to the sides away from the blow, making it possible to lengthen or widen stock. Now I'll clean up the shape with a flap wheel. The flap wheel is a disc that is covered in flaps of sandpaper. It shapes and polishes depending on the grit and force involved. Ooh, shiny. I'll continue the process with the neck of the peen, then carry on with the sides, top, and bottom. That just leaves the back peen. I'm using the flap wheel here more to refine the shape than polishing at this point. You can see how I'm digging the curve into the metal. Much of this is just getting rid of the ugly grooves left by the grinding disc. You can also see how I'm going back over the areas I've already sanded. This blends the work so you don't get an obvious line between the sections. With that done, I switched to a finer grit flap wheel and went over the entire hammer again. Ooh, even more shiny. I don't have video for it, but it weighed 6.2 pounds when I started work on it. The new weight is 2,501 grams. That works out to 5.5 pounds. So I cut and ground almost 3/4 of a pound off. Amazing! And it only took 2.5 hours and a mild case of tendinitis. With the head done, we need a handle. I'm going to fashion my own handle using some wood that I've collected over the years. This is a piece of Zelkova, or Japanese elm. This wood is hard, durable, and has a nice grain. I'm going to use a special knife that I made from a farrier's rasp years ago. It was supposed to be for the kitchen, but I found that it is much more useful as a tool for removing bark and rough shaping wood. For this, I get to sit down in my cozy corner. Let's get a closer look. My goal is to get the outer layers removed and flat enough to use the next tool, which is a hand plane. It basically shaves off strips of wood until you have a shape you can sand into the finished product. I should really be using a smaller one-handed plane, but I'm lazy and don't feel like going inside to get it. I want to use this bit at the end, but I don't want the bend. My knife is also good for hacking away at wood, taking off large chunks. The steel has been treated for strength and flexibility, so it's ideal for this kind of work. Well, that was unexpected. I guess I'll have to try and approach this a little differently. That'll teach you to break my chopping knife. So I want the end to be a little pointy, so the diameter decreases as the handle goes up. This will keep the head in place once the pins are put in the top of the handle. Let's just break this last bit off. Son of a... That was a bit too much. I wonder if I can salvage this. No, I think it's going to be too short and wonky now. Excuse me while I scream into a bucket for a few minutes. Okay, much better. Here's a new piece of wood for the handle. I did all the work off camera because I felt like it. The process was the same as before, except it involved more cursing. This new piece of wood is straighter and thicker. So this time you are going to work. I inserted it into the head and now I'm pounding it into place. Expect a fair amount of excess handle to stick out of the top. That's not a bad thing as long as you get the length you are looking for. I'll saw that off and set the hammer vertically for the last step. I punched a little notch in the top of the handle to make space for the wood pins. These serve to stretch the wood and prevent the head from sliding off the handle. This is why the diameter of the handle needs to decrease as you get to the top. You don't want it slipping down either. After much finger abuse, I cut the excess off and set a metal pin across the wood pins. This prevents the wood pins from slipping out. In this case, I got lazy again and just used a railroad spike that someone tried to make into a knife. The shape was ideal for this, and I used yet another piece of junk I had laying around for something. Again, cut off the excess. Let's give it a little test drive. I'm working this metal cold, since I don't want to set up my forge right now, and also because a lot of metal work with thin stock was done cold in the past. Just look up videos on how they used to make fenders for cars. I actually have a fender hammer around here somewhere. It's hard to see, but the metal will gradually form a cup shape where it is hammered. If you continue to work around the area, eventually you will have a bowl shape. This is also how plate armor was made during the Middle Ages. Maybe I'll think about that for a future video. Mr. Fine is holding the finished product. The balance is a little weird, but most ball peen hammers I've used are like that. Overall, I'm satisfied with the result. I can see this being very useful if I need to shape some metal. Or to show off, because my ball peen hammer is bigger than yours. Maybe I should make two. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please click the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing. If you didn't like it, please click the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing. Let me know what kind of projects you think I should work on. Until next time, stay crafty.